So, easy question first, name and title.
Derek Woellner, Mayor of Merrill.
First, what information did you want to get out tonight with this meeting that was held?
A lot. We're sorry that we weren't able to provide the accurate numbers for what people could expect to see on their tax bill. I think we've taken the steps needed so that won't happen again. There's actually quite a bit of a learning experience in that for many different people. We talked a little tonight about how normally it'd be difficult to estimate what numbers the state's going to give us. The solution to that is using last year's numbers to give an approximation. So questions came up, and I think we've solved quite a few of them now. So I'm confident next year we'll get it right.
So first, how did the confusion happen with the public's tax rate increase as opposed to the tax levy?
That I had a part in that. Early on, I tried to get it out there that we were looking at a 3% levy increase. Those were the numbers I was using because I was looking at the whole picture. So the levies, the whole amount that the city can collect. I think I might have contributed to some of the public's misunderstanding about it because I didn't fully understand that a 3% levy increase could result in a 7.4 tax bill increase. I thought surely they can change a little bit. Looking at last year's, it was a 4.49% levy increase, but on the tax bills it only came out as, I think mine was 1.7%. So seeing it go that way last year, I guess I should have done more of my due diligence to find out what could actually happen this year. There were mistakes made by multiple people about, not mistakes, miscommunication. One person would be talking about one thing, the other person understands it as something else. That initial problem of not everyone fully understanding the tax bill impact of the levy increase, that was something that existed throughout the entire process. Looking back at the public's comments at one of the council meetings, it was obvious that the public was under the impression that the levy increase is the percent they would see on their tax bill. I wish that someone that had known that wasn't the case would have stepped in at that time and corrected it, but I think that just kept existing, and it fooled. It ended up, in the end, it fooled me. It fooled some of the council members. We were just taken by surprise at the rate that it ended up being.
And then what was the issue with the TIDs with the budget?
So the TIDs have an impact on it, and they kind of, so the numbers that we were being given by the financial director, there's a reason they were wrong, and that was compounded by the fact that TIDs weren't included in it. So the TIDs had created an impact, and it took that already wrong number and made it even more wrong. So that's how we get that, the jump from a 3% to a 7.4%. That 3% in the end ended up being a 4 point, it was in tonight's agenda packet, and that was another mistake that the finance director has owned up to, that after the veto I had set a goal, let's make operations and debt service just a 3% increase. We were told it was a 3% increase amounting to that $5 million, so we passed that $5 million levy amount. It ended up being, it was never 3%, it was 4 point something.
Okay, so how important then was it tonight to have this meeting to get the information out there about how the TIDs work and how the budget is put together?
I thought it was important to have, we work with, I always say the name wrong, Woellner's, EHL, yeah. we work with them. They're kind of our. The finance director works with them the most. They help. They're a consultant for her. Otherwise, she's kind of going at this alone, at her level. But the rest of us are trying to have a basic knowledge of what's going on. But they're a professional consultant firm that they really know their stuff. And it was important to have a third party come in and be the council to be able to have this discussion with them and the public be involved as well, because there's some trust issues. We were given the wrong numbers, and we really had to hear it from a third party, I think.
Okay. And then, so what do you do moving forward to make sure confusion or a situation like this doesn't happen in future years?
I'm hoping that we've taken enough steps. I'm hoping that we can keep developing this process, because ultimately the taxpayer is concerned what's going to show up on my tax bill. And I think it's important for them to tell their representative how they want their representative to vote. They need to be given the information that they want, and we need to provide it to them. I think we've worked out how we're going to calculate that amount, which was something that wasn't being done, and we weren't quite sure about how it would be done. Kathy, the finance director, has worked with, I keep forgetting the Ehlers.
I think it's Ehlers.
Ehlers, thank you. They've developed a way of doing it now, so I'm confident we'll be able to say this is the amount you can expect on your tax bill for 2019. If it's not that, then we have a big issue. I guess. Well, did you have any more questions?
Nope.
So I guess the last thing I'd like to say is, again, we're sorry we got it wrong this time around. But this is it. I don't regret doing it. The reason it blew up is because we promoted this percentage so much. And in previous years, there's not much talk about what people can expect. We wanted to be transparent and tell people what to expect. We just didn't have the right numbers with us. So I'm glad that we took that risk and, tried to be transparent. We failed, but try again next year, and I think we'll get it right. And I'm hoping that from now all the way into as far out in the future as any of us are going to live, I'm hoping that the city continues to keep providing the citizens with what percent do you expect on your tax bill, because that will help them make the decisions they need to make.